All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 335 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and how could you not be excited about this past weekend? I mean, Georgia Southern is doing their thing. Just overall, I mean, I'm not just talking about the football, but we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. Well, I'm not going to go in depth, but I'm going to touch on pretty much everything that's happened so far this week. This weekend in Statesboro. I mean, I'm actually super excited. Also, we're going to talk about draft week in Atlanta Falcons. There is going to be the draft this week, and to be quite honest, at this point, we really don't know what the Falcons are doing. So I'm going to touch on that. But man, I cannot get enough excitement, oozing from me. I mean, it's just going all. I mean, it's just too much. So much excitement going on in Statesboro, and I feel so excited about it. The word for the day is excitement. I just don't know where to start. I'm really at a loss. If this is your first time here, welcome to the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. I can be found on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, and Spotify. If you want to listen to the audio side of things, I'm also on YouTube and Rumble. So if you listen to this on YouTube and prefer Rumble, I'm on Rumble. If you like, if you're on Rumble and you prefer YouTube, I'm over there. And if you prefer any of the audio platforms, I just named them all that I'm on. Your favorite podcast platform, I'm already there. So thank you for everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. Uptick in views. I know it's going to be much more of an interesting time, so I got to be on my game to give you guys the best commentary possible, the best honest commentary possible, the best opinionated content possible. It's just one man show. I just do what I do over here, and I try my best to give you guys the best content possible. Now, with all that stuff out of the way, I just want to let you guys just sit back and just think a second. We were all in, a state of confusion, not only 4-5 months ago. We did not know what Georgia Southern football is going to be like. And we kept hearing rumblings. We heard what Coach Helton can possibly do. We were excited about the staff he brought in. We looked at some of the transfers and recruits he brought in, and we heard about the scrimmages. Some people went to the scrimmages. We heard about the practices. Some people went to the practices. But now a lot of eyes were on Georgia Southern blue and white spring game. Now, I'm going to talk about that. I'm also going to talk about the men's golf, because as of today, they're in second place of the Sunbelt Championship once again. Baseball team swept. We swept another opponent. I mean, what can you say about Georgia Southern? And we're just on fire right now. South Alabama was supposed to be a really good baseball team, and I'm pretty sure they are, but we're just better. So we're right in the hunt for the golf Sunbelt champion. The ladies, just won their Sunbelt champion. I mean, what are we doing here? We're just bringing trophies home. You know what I mean? But let's get back to this football thing. You have to understand that with all this turnover, it was going to be a level of nervousness. But when we saw the football team getting put on display and for the world to see, I think we were the only group of 5 team that was on ESPN Plus as far as our blue and white spring. I mean, that's phenomenal. And you saw what this team was able to do. People still a little shaky about the about the defense. But you see what this team was able to do. It was nothing short of phenomenal. Now, I know I'm all over the place. I just can't help myself. I really am. I'm really excited for this football team. I'm really excited for all the other level of athletics. I'm excited for the indoor facility that's going to be built. I think this football team is going to be really, really good. I think they're going to be better than advertised. You got to understand, these guys made a turnaround like this within 5 months. Well, you can probably say earlier than that, because everybody was, pretty much done with the offseason by the end of November, early December. Well, I'll say like December, yeah. So you're talking about a span of 5 months to be fair. These guys turned it around with a new offense, new personnel, new leadership, and they put this on the field. What they put on the field is a team that look like they've been together for at least 2 to 3 years. I think somebody on Twitter said that. Look like this team's been going strong for 2 or 3 years. So imagine what's going to be like by the time, fall comes. Training camp, real practices. The team is pretty much done as far as transfers and recruits. All the kids will be on campus. Possibly some kids may wow people and be able to play right away. This is an exciting time. And I don't know how else we could, put it all together. It's a beautiful thing to see Coach Helton is doing what he's doing. We watching him work, watching him put a team together, get guys that come in and transfer from other places, like a Jeremy Singleton, like a Kyle Van Treese. Christian Varner, I think he was already here. No, Christian Varner, he's coming in. You got other guys, Wingard from Elon. These guys coming in and contributing. You also have some of these guys who've already been here put in different positions to succeed. Now, I can't talk enough about Sam Kinnerson. I'm going to tell you something about Sam. Let me tell you something that was a downfall for the team last year. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was disappointed in this situation. Now, if you watch the games last year, the FAU game when Cam Ransom got hurt and we had Sam Kinnerson in at backup, everything was going smooth because we was marching down the field. We was we were going to be able to control that game. Sam Kinnerson ran the option, and it was a keeper, and he fumbled the ball. And when he fumbled that ball, and FAU went down to score, I knew that was the turning point of the season. That I kind of figured that this is where everything is going to start falling apart. Now, I did think that if Kevin Whitley was able to get a win against South Alabama on that Thursday night, that could have saved the season. But I knew that when Sam Kinnerson fumbled the ball against FAU, I knew something was. I knew the season was going to go in a downward spiral. That was my gut feeling. I really didn't want to talk about it at the point, but I knew that was the case. But when you turn around and watch Sam Kinnerson, develop as a wide receiver and do what he did in the spring game, is nothing short of phenomenal. I said this in the recap. This is what making, good players, average players into good players. Now, I'm not saying that he's an average player, but for him to transition from quarterback, which I'm pretty sure that he was a pretty decent quarterback, to wide receiver, is going to diminish his talents a little bit because he has to learn. It's not just the physical or the talent, it's mental. You have to learn how to run those routes. You have to learn how to put you got to learn what ball placement is to catch the ball. I mean, you have to learn all of this. The ability to do it is just what your God-given talents give you. But you just have to have the mentality to go out there and change your football acumen to do what he done. So for him to elevate to somebody that we probably thought that could have been an average wide receiver because he was playing at quarterback, to jump to somebody that looked like he's going to be a dangerous piece for our offense going forward is nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, Kyle Van Treese looked like he's going to have a field day throwing to a guy like Sam Kinnerson, a guy like Jeremy Singleton, Amari Jones, J.J. McCaffrey when he gets on the field. You got other guys who are coming in that are right now still in high school that is going to be here. Tight ends that can actually catch the ball. I mean, when you look at all of this, and I knew these other guys had the talent, and I didn't even talk about Durham Burgess. I haven't even talked about Durham Burgess yet. But when you talk about all these guys who have talent and all these guys who are able to do something, I look at the progression of Sam Kinnerson, and he, to me, as of right now, I can't say it because I don't know for sure because I haven't watched everybody, but he's clearly the most improved guy this offseason. He's clearly the most improved guy. And then to me right now, that's not up for debate. We'll find out once, we see the progression of the players. The first game against Morgan State, we'll find out. But right now, there's no question. No question. And I love what I saw from him. So I know I just went on in the last 2-minute rant on Sam Kinison, but I love what I saw. You look at what Najee Thompson's able to do when he turns around, comes off from an injury, and plays lights out, against, this high-powered offense. Gets a sack, get a tackle for loss. He stopped somebody coming around the corner on the edge one play, almost picked off a play. And what can you say about that play that he did when he chased down Gerald Green? What can you say about that? I mean, it's just phenomenal when you see stuff like this. So all in all, what this team is made of right now, and we're just scratching the surface. I want you to understand, we're just scratching the surface of this team. What these kids are doing right now, man, by the time we have to play Nebraska week 2, and I'm not overlooking Morgan State, but once we get ready to go up against another Power 5 team, that team, possibly, I'm not saying it yet, but possibly that team could be put on notice. That it's possible that we can go up there and smack that team in the mouth. Because I haven't heard not too many good things from Nebraska in some years. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they're not good, but if they're not careful, a team running this type of offense with these type of athletes, it could be a problem. I'm going to jump over to the baseball team real quick. These guys over here just swept South Alabama. The RPI is very high. Look like they could be hosting some games in the regionals. I'm just starting to follow this team. God, please forgive me. I don't know the names of these baseball players. The guys in the Discord, shout out to the guys in the Discord. Follow us, or I ain't gonna say follow. Come join the Discord. The link is down in the description. We're talking about Georgia Southern and everything under that umbrella when it comes there. We do have a little bit of Falcons talk. If you're watching on the screen, I'm wearing a Falcons hat right now. We do have a little bit of Falcons talk, and we have another area in the Discord where we talk about recruiting in all other sports. In that, so it's just an area where Georgia Southern fans can branch out and talk about other sports. So this is where we're at right now. Discord, link in the description. But those guys are showing me who these guys are, what these guys are about, and why I should watch Georgia Southern baseball. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, whoa, these comeback victories, finding a way to hold on to leads, late in the game, pulling away. I mean, what more could you ask for a baseball team like this? I mean, I'm loving every bit of it. Sitting back, watching, and I watch it, have it on the TV in the background. Well, TV over here in the background. And all of a sudden I look up, 7th inning, we're up 5-2, 7-2. And I'm like, look, whoa, wait, what? It was a close game a few minutes ago. I can't wait to see what these guys do later on. I mean, they look like they're primed and they look like they're ready to play up against anybody. And they might be one of the most dangerous teams right now in all of college baseball. I don't want to go too further with that because I don't know them like that. But I am very, very, very interested in I'm going to be talking about them more as the season goes on. So shout out to the Georgia Southern baseball team. That just phenomenal play out there. Women's golf team just got finished winning the Sunbelt last week, and the men's golf are right behind them in second place. Look like they can make a move, and if they do, that's just more hardware coming back to Statesboro. I can't talk about this enough. You're looking at the women's golf team. You're looking at the cheerleaders. They just got finished winning the national championship. These guys, this golf team, look like they're ready to go. The tennis team, I was notified that the tennis team won last year. The women's tennis. Man, we are out here doing big things in all of college sports. You cannot deny that this is a winning culture. And this goes all the way back to where if the men's bring on the hardware, even if they don't, we need to start making some things happen. Because even with the baseball team is doing good. We need to start making things happen in football and in basketball. Now, I know basketball is really shaky. The women's basketball team is looking good. I love what they're doing over there. And coach over there, she's doing a phenomenal job. And she's just bringing, so much she's bringing an identity that is so infectious. And you just can't help but to love what the Lady Eagles are doing. in baseball. I mean, not baseball. I'm sorry. I haven't followed the softball team, but what they've done in basketball. I mean, we got a few recruits that just came in that's going to be joining the Lady Eagles. I mean, I can't wait till next season. The boys, the men's basketball, they got a little bit of ways to go, a few up and downs. So we're going to continue to monitor them as well. Brian Berg should be more than capable of winning games here in Statesboro, and we need to turn that around. But when you look at all this other hardware that is coming to Statesboro, these teams need to start stepping the game up, and I prefer the football team. That's why I say 8 wins going into this season. And after watching what I saw in the spring game, I'm on board. I can't see how we not win 8 games. So look, winning is infectious. It just happens. When one team win, all the other ones tend to just follow suit. You seen what happened up there in Atlanta. The Braves, they win the World Series, turn right back around. Those stinky Georgia Bulldogs end up winning the national title. I give them some respect for winning the national title. Don't too much care for the team anymore. Now, I don't want to be exposed to say I was always a hater. I was not always a hater of the Georgia Bulldogs. It's just that it's a long story. I'm not going to go into that. But nevertheless, winning is infectious. And when you create that culture of W's in bringing hardware home, all it does is just makes the other teams want to do better. And that's not saying that Georgia Southern hasn't brought any hardware home. 2014, won the Sunbelt. Bowling Green, we won that game, 2015? 2018, Camellia Bowl. 2019, the Cure Bowl. No, I'm sorry. We went to the Cure Bowl. The following year, 2020, we won the RL Carrier New Orleans Bowl. So the football team is no slouch when it comes to bringing hardware either. But right now, there's no excuse for this team to do this at this point. There's no excuse for them not to do it. They should bring something home. I prefer a Sunbelt champion, but if they bring a bowl game back to Statesboro, that's okay too. But I want that Sunbelt. I'm tired of looking at Louisiana. I'm tired of looking at App State, and I damn sure don't want to see Coastal Carolina win it again. It's Coastal Carolina. I mean, my God, just that team there. I don't hate on them, but you talk about an arrogant bunch of kids. Ugh. I respect Louisiana, definitely respect App State, but man, look, we need to get back on board and we need to be in that conversation as well. So I can't wait to see it. All these other levels of athletics are bringing home trophies. It's time for football, preferably. I don't know if the basketball team could do it. Ladies basketball, they're more than capable, but football, definitely. You need to bring some hardware home. You got everybody else doing the same thing. Before I get out of here, because I'm getting close to that point where I usually do around 20 minutes, Atlanta Falcons football. What are the Atlanta Falcons football team is doing? We don't know. We don't know what the draft is going to be like. Everybody thinking pass rush. These guys we need so much help in so many areas. Every pick is a good pick at number 8. I don't care what anybody says. You can say what you want because your personal preference is not the pick that you want it to be. But I'm telling you, any player, long as they're a top tier player that deserves to be at number 8 or higher, is a good pick. Offensive lineman, defensive lineman, quarterback, wide receiver, safety, cornerback, it don't matter. Linebacker, we need everything. So right now, we really don't know what the Falcons' hand is going to be. But I've come to grips, even though I said I felt that Sauce Gardner could be that guy. Then I turned around and said that a quarterback could be the guy. And then I also think about Drake London at wide receiver, or even the other guy at Ohio State. He could be it. But right now, it could be anybody. I've given up throughout this entire process. I say it could be anybody. I'm going to be okay with anybody because right now, everything is a need for the most part. You can make the case that you may not need 1 or 2 spots on the team, but overall, everybody could be a big help to the Atlanta Falcons, no matter who we pick. So I think this is something we need to really look into and just see where this team is going. Because most of the guys that were in the old regime or the old guard, the Julio, the Matt Ryans and all of them, they're gone now. This team is going to be built in Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith image. So it's going to be really interesting to see what their first few picks are going to be. So I'm willing to, say like, from number 8 to 43 to 58 and maybe 74. Those first 4 picks are going to determine, they're really going to show where this team is going. Some people could say the first pick could, but that's not necessarily true, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, we all have opinions. So nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to be. I'm looking at AtlantaFalcons.com. They're talking about getting Evan Neal, the offensive tackle from Alabama. Another mock draft saying we can get pass rusher. Somebody saying that we can get, Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson. Debo Samuels could be in the picture. They even got wide receivers out here. They're all over the place. And I didn't even talk about the quarterbacks yet because that's a possibility too. So to be honest, we don't know. And that's okay. That's okay that we don't know. My main thing is that, at the end of the day, hopefully they do smart with these picks. You got 9 of them. So be smart. Even if you trade to get somebody like a Debo Samuels, as long as it's a smart move, I'm all for it. I just don't want to see no reaches or no dumb picks. So we don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully we'll find out on draft day, which is the 28th, I think. Yeah, I think it's the 28th. And it's going to be really interesting to see. So I can't wait. Hopefully you guys can't wait. And once that come about, we're going to discuss that as well. If you like this content, hit the like button, share this content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the podcast avenues. Give me a 5-star rating if you don't mind. And if I'm not doing anything that's worth the 5-star rating, give me some feedback. If it's good feedback, give me some good feedback as well. At the end of the day, we talk about Georgia Southern Atlanta Falcons football here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you don't mind as well, check out all the links down in the description, whether it be any of those links to subscribe to whatever platform you want to be on, or if you want to donate as well. I'm going to get out of here, and I can't wait to see what happens. It's just Statesboro is on fire right now. Atlanta Falcons look like they could be on the upward, the upward trend if they pick right. We're all going to figure all that out. Until then, guys, you guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. See you guys on Tuesday and have a happy Monday. All right. Peace.